Is talking about your love language with your spouse effective? Will it actually get you more love? Will it really make it easier to love your spouse? Does it take away from the spontaneity of love? Well, I have some answers for you and why you should trust the love language system. Hi, I'm ZeeZee, and I'm a marriage and relationship enthusiast. I help couples like you to get ready for the greatest journey of their lives, and I do this by acting as their guide, leading them to the answers to key questions that must be answered in order to get rid of the misery that most marriages are becoming today. Now, my heart's desire aligns with your heart's desire to increase your odds of having a very successful marriage. So let's go. The 5 love languages is a system developed by a clinical psychologist called Dr. Gary Chapman. Now, Dr. Chapman has done extensive research on marriage and put his findings in a ton of books. His research usually summarizes the way you should act as a married person. How do you love your spouse? How exactly do you express it, and how do you ask? And he's broken these expectations into 5 categories. There's words of affirmation, there's physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. Now, I'll quickly explain each of them. Words of affirmation just mean that your spouse wants you to let them know you love them by simply the things that you tell them. Meaning you constantly reassure them, tell them you love them, tell them they're doing great, and in essence, tell them you appreciate the things that they do for you or your kids if you have any. I'm sure you get the picture. And also, there's the second one, physical touch, which is, if that's your spouse's main love language, it just means they want you to show them love by being intimate with them. Well, with intimacy, I don't necessarily mean just sex. However, it's part of it, of course. Now, they just want constant physical contact with you, such as hugs, kisses, holding your hand, running your hands through your hair, or whatever you like. But anyway, you get the picture as well. Quality time. Now, it just means they want you to spend quality time with them, doing the things they enjoy to do or you enjoy to do. Now, when you spend quality time, that also means your undivided attention is sitting with them, so they love you for that. Now, acts of service just means that your spouse wants you to show them love by the way you handle things for them or your support for them. For instance, if you run difficult errands for them, or if you would go and pick flowers for them because picking flowers is their thing. Whatever, you get the point. Now, lastly, gifts. If you love me, buy me gifts. Needs no explanation. So now that we know what the love languages are, why does it work actually? It actually works because you do not have to guess what your spouse wants from you anymore. The guesswork it's taken out. Now, you don't have to play the part of a sorcerer in your relationship anymore. You don't have to. Now, when you try to read your partner's mind to know or expect them to know what you want or expect them to automatically figure out how you want to be loved, what ends up happening is a lot of conflict. He should know what I want at any moment. She should know how I like this. No, she shouldn't. She's not a sorcerer. You no longer have to be confused when you keep buying her gifts, but she still seems unhappy, or you keep taking over his most difficult tasks and he seems ungrateful. You simply say to your spouse with a love language system, okay, so this is the way I want you to love me. I don't want you to love me the way you feel you should love me, but how I want you to love me. Now, these 5 love languages, can you please rate them with the most important one first? Tell me how to love you the way it's most important to you. So for example, if words of affirmation is most important to your spouse and gifts are least important, and you focus your efforts on speaking love and always speaking words of affirmation to them, it's really that simple. Now, some other reasons why the love languages work. Men, for example, are very logical. Now, they work better with clear instructions. Just imagine how simple it makes the process. It simplifies the process by explaining what you want to him instead of making him have to guess and make horrible mistakes. Don't worry about the surprise factor. He'll always have that. But this just helps. And number 2, you always get what you want, not what they think they should give you. Everyone deserves to be loved the way they want to be loved. So that just makes it so much easier. And that's why it works. Now, the 5 love languages helps to improve your communication. Imagine how much time you get to talk if what you guys keep doing is putting it on the table, how I want you to love me and how I want to feel you love me and this, that, and the other. Number 4, the love languages compel you to confront conflict. Now, when you disagree on how you're loving your spouse and how they're receiving it, that is usually the major root cause of conflict. Imagine how this kills conflict the second you know how your spouse wants you to love them. Just imagine. And it also creates positive interactions between you and your spouse. And it takes away the negative ones. Because this way you are talking about love. I want you to love me this way. You're eliminating conflict. So of course, positive interactions go up. Now, I hope you see these as good reasons to find out more about the love languages. Thanks for taking out the time to listen to me again. Let me know on ZeeZeeIO.com if there's any questions you might have, or you need something clarified, or you need to understand relationships more and why things might be going the way they are in your relationship. Now, life is too short to spend time struggling through what should be so beautiful and so easy. I always like to say this is the most important relationship you'll ever have, and I suggest that you live with it happy. So call me, contact me, however, thank you for listening to me.